Today, Wednesday, the 29th of January 2025, we have some hand-picked match predictions to share with you, which of course will be backed up by some stats and analytics to help you make your picks in this list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And to those of you who want to have access to our hand-picked events, which we share to members only, as well as top-notch and epic match prediction tutorials, which we shared in terms of betting classes we have, then you want to make sure to become either a member of Level 2 Pro Plan or Level 3 Master Plan to have access to these features to take your winning to the next height. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video description. So before we proceed to event of today, we first of all want to say congratulations on the games we shared to you on Sunday. We had a total of about 9 games, that is 8 to 9 games we shared, and of course, it was really a huge success. You all registered huge wins, and I will share with you all the results before we proceed to event of today. So let's look at the results. We did not share any game on Monday and Tuesday because there were not safety events to share. The first event was in the Singapore Premier League, where we looked at Tajong Pejats against TPMM, and we looked at the possibility of 1.5 and 2.5 goals in full time. Of course, it registered a win. These were a total of 3 goals successful. In the next, we looked at Germany in the regional Liga West, Duisburg against Dortmund Tuxpor, and we looked at 1.5 and 2.5 goals as well as Duisburg to lead. All the cases were true. Congratulations. In the next event, we looked at Saudi Arabia in the professional league, where we looked at Al to take the lead as well as 1.5 and 2.5 goals. All cases were true, successful. In the next event, we looked at England in the Women's Super League, where Manchester United play against Brighton, and we looked at 1.5 and 2 goals over. Both cases were true, successful. In the next, we looked at a game in the England Premier League, of course, Tottenham against Leicester, where we looked at 1.5 goal, 2 goals over. Both cases were true, successful, of course. In the next, we looked at Payok, that is in the Greece Super League. This was the only unsuccessful event on this list, where we looked at 1.5 goals. Of course, we ended as 1, the lack of 1. And looking at the next event, which was a successful event, we looked at Barcelona against Valencia in the Spain La League. We looked at the home to lead as well as 1.5 and 2.5 going full time. All cases were true. And looking at the next, of course, we looked at Braga against Boavista in the Portugal Premier League. And of course, Braga lead, which was one of the match pick, successful. And also look at corner kick for Braga to have over 3. You can see in corner kicks, it has 11 corners, as you can see, successful. And of course, these were the events we shared, and we had it all successful, except for Payok. So huge congratulations based on the event we have. Of course, congratulations to you all. So now let's proceed to the event of today. But before we proceed, I have a quick announcement to make. If you come here to the front page of our channel here, you're going to see that based on the home section, we provide match prediction events to members only. You can see we provide games based on corner kicks event as well as goals match prediction pick, which we provide to our members only. And to those of you who want to have access to this feature, you want to make sure to subscribe to the Level 2 Pro Plan or Level 3 Master Plan to start to have access to our hand-picked event, which we share to members only. Becoming a member of either Level 2 or Level 3 Master will not only give you access to our hand-picked event, but you're also going to have additional features. For example, if you become a member of the Level 2 Pro classes, of course, you're going to have access to our bet class tutorial, as you can see here. The live match corner kick football strategy, which you can implement, a simple trick to make consistent win, match prediction winning strategy you have never seen before. Of course, this is a good one, and comeback strategy for straight wins, and of course, you're going to see the tactical straight win and over 2.5 goal strategy as well, followed by the win rate strategy, which is above 99%. You can make use of this. And in the Level 3 Master, of course, we have top-notch and epic tutorial in the Level 3 Master, like, for example, the AI tool we use to uncover games in terms of goals and straight win, our match prediction strategy in terms of corner kicks. You're going to discover our top match prediction site, which we use to find corner kick events. That is the sacred website we use, as well as the tools we use to uncover match prediction in terms of corner kicks. You're also going to see amazing AI tools we use, the home and away win prediction strategy step by step, as well as the strategy to beat the bookies when it comes to 2.5 goal match prediction picks. You're going to have access to all of these once you become either a member of the Level 3 Masterclass. You have access to all Level 3 classes as well as Level 2 class. And in the Level 2 Pro Plan, you have access to all of these. And of course, this is very, very important, especially for you who want to take your winning to the next height. Also, if you come here to the front page of our channel, this area called video section, we have recently published some epic video tutorials, which of course you can take advantage of it and start to take your winning also to the next height. We have some free epic tutorials here, like the expert tips to win in terms of soccer games and matches. You're going to watch the tutorial to the end to pick up some of the strategy we have shared. Also, we have another one here, which is the 5 hidden Sofascore features you can use. With this strategy, we have explained some hidden features of Sofascore, which you can take advantage of it. The links of these videos will be found below this video description. We can come directly to the video section and locate those videos and start to watch them directly. You can see that we give prediction events to members only. To become a member and to have access to this, then of course you want to either join level 2 pro plan or the level 3 master plan to start to have access to these features to take your winning to the next height. The link to join is below this video, and once you join, I will put the link directly, which you can watch all the video tutorial in the one place, of course, to make it at ease so that you can start to watch them and start to take your winning to the next height. So without wasting time, let's proceed to the first event of today. Looking at the first event here, we look at Europe in the Champions League, Bayer Leverkusen against Sparta Prague. For this event, of course, the recent performance of Bayer Leverkusen recently have proved to be amazing in the Bundesliga, as you can see, scoring at least three goals in each event. They have been amazing recently, especially at home, where they score a very high capacity in terms of goal scoring. The opponent, as well, on the other hand, have also proved to be amazing based on recent events they have had, especially in their various league. And this time they are coming to meet for this particular tournament and looking at the stands in terms of the performance by Bayer Leverkusen against Sparta Prague. Leverkusen proves to have a very high offensive power, scoring an average of at least 2.2 goals per game. That is a great offense. They're looking at Sparta Prague based on the defensive line, as well as the game prediction they have had recently. The defensive line is not very tough, and we are looking at 2 to 3 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, of course, the offensive power of the home by Leverkusen have proved to be very offensive. The defense of the away lineup is not great, and the home team is going to take advantage of that weak defense of the away. So we are looking at the home to take the lead in full time as one of the major picks. We also want to look at least 1.5 goals or 2 goals over to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next, we still look in the Champions League, of course, Bayern Munich against Slovan Bratislava. For this event, the performance of the home Bayern Munich have proved to be very offensive in terms of recent events they have had, especially in the Bundesliga, where they scored 3 and 5 goals in each event. The offensive strength is very high, and looking at Slovan Bratislava, on the other hand, the defensive line recently in the matches they've had in the NL have proved that they are not very tight in defense. This time, of course, based on this tournament, the offensive strength of Bayern Munich based on home game played have proved that they sit on a good place with a high offensive power and great defense. That of its opponent, on the other hand, Slovan Bratislava, have proved that the defensive line is not very tough. And looking at the defensive line of Slovan, they have a very weak defense and want to look at 2 to 3 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, of course, the home Bayern Munich have proved to have a very high offensive power. Even its performance in the Bundesliga have proved that by home they are very offensive. But Slovan Bratislava, on the other hand, does not have a good defense, especially for this tournament. And the home team will take advantage of that weak defense of its opponent to lead in full time as one of the major picks. We also want to look at 1.5 goals in full time and 2.5 goals to occur in this match in full time. These are our 2 major picks for this event. 1, Bayern Munich to lead. 2, 1.5 goals full time. 3, 2 goals over. Looking at the next here, we look at Champions League, the Europe Champions League still, Girona against Arsenal. And looking at the recent performance of Girona in the LL, they have proved to be very weak in defense recently in the La Liga. Of course, Arsenal, on the other hand, in terms of the recent gameplay they have had at the way, proved that they are better in the peer, that is the Premier League. But this time, they are coming to meet for this tournament, and Arsenal will bring that form here. And looking at the way performance of Arsenal based on recent events they have had, of course, the offensive strength is average, but of course, they need this. And looking at that of Girona in terms of the strength by the home and the away in terms of defense, you're going to see Girona here, of course, the defensive line is just average as well. And they're coming to meet, and we'll look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, of course, both of the 2 sides want to impress. The fact that Arsenal have a good strength and they're coming to meet in this tournament want to impress. Girona also at home also want to take that advantage. In this case, we are not going for any favorite, but the possibility of goals is the major pick. 1, 1.5 goal in full time, 2, 2 goals over. These are our 2 major picks for this particular event. Looking at the next here, we look still in the Champions League, but this time Salzburg against Atletico de Madrid. In this event, the recent gameplay performance of Salzburg recently have proved to have a good offense, but of course, Atletico de Madrid also in its own side in the LL have proved to have great offense recently. But in this tournament, they are coming to meet and looking at the strength in the terms of the home and the away, especially the away based on the strength by the home offense and defense. You're going to see the away offense and defense have proved that the away team have a great offense and defense is also good. But that of the home Salzburg from the Austria, of course, you're going to see that its defensive line and offensive line is not as great as compared to that of the away team Atletico de Madrid. Of course, it has a very weak defense, conceding up to 9 goals in just 3 events. That's an average of 3 goals conceded per game, and want to look at 2 to 3 major picks in full time. For these particular events, the performance of the home is weak, and the defensive line is not great, and want to look at Atletico Madrid, the way to take advantage of that weak defense of the home. We therefore look at the way to lead in full time as one of the major picks. Also, the possibility of at least 1.5 goal, 2 goals over is the next most possibility for this particular event. Looking at the next, we looked in the Champions League team, but this time Dinamo Zagreb against AC Milan. Of course, the recent performance of Dinamo Zagreb in recent event they have showed in the HNL, that is in the Croatia HNL, have proved to have a very good offense and good also in defensive line. But of course, AC Milan from this Serie A of Italy have proved to also be very great. They are very more offensive as compared to that of Dinamo Zagreb. Looking at the performance of the home Dinamo Zagreb in recent event they've had, of course, you're going to see that the home defense and offense of the home team, Dinamo Zagreb, have proved not to be very strengthened in the defensive line. That of AC Milan, on the other hand, in terms of the away performance they've had recently, proved that AC Milan, of course, you're going to see that they have a strength in offense and the defense is average. And looking at everything in place, we'll look at 2 major picks in full time. For these particular events, AC Milan, the away team, have proved to have a greater offensive powers compared to Dinamo Zagreb. Even in this standing of this particular league table, this Champions League table, of course, AC Milan is a good offensive team and more performance. We looked at either the possibility of AC Milan to have a win or a draw, or just looking at the possibility of 1.5 going full time. That will look at AC Milan to have the upper hand, giving it a straight win or a double chance, or just looking at just 1.5 goal in this event in full time. Looking at the next, we looked in the Champions League, but this time Man City against Club Brugge. Club Brugge is a very stubborn team based on the recent event they have had, especially in their various league. And looking at Man City also, they are very strengthened in terms of recent event they have had in the PL, and they have proved to have a very great offense. Club Brugge also, on the other hand, is a very good offensive team in terms of recent event they have had coming for this particular tournament in the Champions League. Of course, in the round 8 of these, Man City, the home team, have proved here that, of course, the performance recently have proved to be having a very high offensive rate, scoring 8 goals in 3 events and conceding 3. The opponent, on the other hand, also have proved that based on the defense and the offensive line, Club Brugge, on the other hand, sit right here. You're going to see that they are not very great in terms of the defensive line. And looking at everything in place, we look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, of course, Club Brugge, the away team, is also a very stubborn team. And the home team also want to outperform the away, and the away also want to try every possibility. So want to look at goals performance here in full time. Since both sides want to impress, of course, we want to look at the possibility of 1.5 going full time as one of the major picks, as well as 2 goals over for this particular event in full time. And to those of you who want to have access to a hand-pick event, especially for this upcoming weekend, where we have prepared a list of top list of match prediction for goals and corner kicks with huge odds to take your winning to the next height, then you want to make sure to subscribe either to the Level 2 Pro plan or Level 3 Master plan to have access to these features. Of course, having access will also give you access to our top-notch betting class tutorials to start taking your winning to the next height. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video description. You want to navigate and join to become a member to start to have access to these features to take your winning to the next height. Good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye-bye for now.